The new Land of Morning Light Part 2 Seoul Region is now here in Black Desert. As a Lifeskiller, here's what you should be looking forward to, and here's all the reasons why you should be going out there. Welcome back to the channel, all about Lifeskilling. My name is Teddy, and if you guys were not aware, the new region Seoul has come out, but with lack of content, what is there really for us to do as a Lifeskiller? If you enjoy the Black Desert content here on the channel, be sure to check out more, leave a like, subscribe, turn on all those notifications, and let's just jump into it. Starting out, unlike the original Land of the Morning Light Part 1, you do not have to have the storyline completed in order to reach the new Seoul region. All you have to do is get to the Land of the Morning Light and just simply ride over from either Nampo Gate, or you can choose to go through the Bomboy Gate. As a Lifeskiller, completing the storyline will only unlock the party version of the boss splits. If you guys are not in the mood to do it or looking to even complete the boss splits, don't even worry about the storyline. I'm sure it has some pretty good dialogue and all that, but they didn't offer any real incentive other than one new manor. For those who did complete the storyline or was curious on where the new manor is, the new one can be located right here in the main capital, Seoul. I'll make a guide on this later on if the manor becomes prevalent and we get our palace management life skill. Who knows? That could be coming later on this week, or it could be coming later on this year with the rest of the gatherable nodes. Knowledge is pretty easy to come by with all of the NPCs needing to be interacted with and new knowledge topics hidden around the world, meaning you'll get more energy for interacting with everything here in the new Seoul region. So if you guys are needing the quick energy, it is worth the time to go through the story, even though there is no rewards for completing said story. All the nodes here do require only one contribution for the investment and one contribution for the actual gathering node. Most of these gatherable nodes are pretty decent with having birch timber, platinum, rough translucent crystals, traces of nature, maple, not to mention we have zinc and other powders. When it comes to all the materials here, are they worth even investing in? Unfortunately, when it does come to this expansion, Bukpo, even though it says you can rent up to 6 things from here, there is no nodes to be rented. This forces you to have to use the pay-to-win option just to get worker lodging if you want to have your worker nodes going. As for the worker nodes, I do recommend going for all of your trace nodes, your iron, your maple, if you guys are doing both your Serendia and Balanos timber crates like I do. If you guys enjoy farming, here in the Go-To Village, there are 3 separate crop workshops, one being a level 2 if you guys are looking into making the crops over here in the Land of the Morning Light. There are no new crops with just the standard Land of the Morning Light crops. But all in all, I don't feel like it is worth the time and effort into trying to reestablish your worker empire. If you already have one established and you have the extra contribution points to waste, by all means. But unless you guys are really struggling on the materials, I would wait until you have the extra contribution before even trying to invest into any of the nodes. Now, there is no word from Prolibus if any of these materials are going to be included in the palace management, what palace management even includes, or if palace management is going to be included within this year. All of these nodes are basically going to go by what you personally need and what you feel as though might be important in the near future. Any workers can be used from the other half of the province, but using any workers from Yukjo Street and Go-To Village is going to be the go-to. I'm not sure if it's going to be worth getting any Bukpo villagers, but if you guys are willing to do the play-to-win method, it might be worth investing into the workers over here. When it comes to crate trading, unfortunately, we're no longer going to be transporting everything over to Nampo Mudo Village. Now we are going to be transporting everything out to Bukpo Village. This will be the furthest away from either Grana or Valencia, and should increase how much money you can make with the distance and the bargaining. I have not tested this out yet, but I do plan to take my wagon from Nampo all the way out to the new area to see just what the trade rates are going to be. You will have to have all the nodes connected in order to trade out into whatever town that you wish, so make sure you have the nodes connected. Now with the new region comes new gatherables that we can come out and manually gather. Much like the first part of the region, we have our usual trees that we can gather like moss trees, birch, maple, ash. For those looking to manually gather maple and you're tired of orcs, don't worry, the BLA forest over here has a sea of maple. You can tell which ones you need to be gathering just by looking at the color of their leaves. All the leaves are red, meaning these are all maple that can be gathered. this might be better than orcs? Let me know down below. If you guys are looking for more Mewa, I'm not sure why, you can find a huge patch over here in Dume Ridges. Over here in the Halban area, have a lot of dry moss trees, making it a good place to go out and get the dead tree essence. More can be found all around the area, so I suggest taking a look and seeing just how much of the dry moss trees you can find. Coming over here to the Dang Forest, has a lot of moss trees able to be either chopped down or fluid collected if you guys are still needing to get moss trees. Places like the Dang Forest has little nodes like platinum down in the little cave ravines. These can be found either by auto-pathing down the road or by manually going out and looking for them, but does provide another area to go out and get platinum if you guys are solely looking for just the platinum. It's not going to be a change from Pilgrim's Haven, but it does give a nice little extra platinum if you guys are traveling around looking for something to gather. There are little tiny rocks that you can manage to find that will give us obsidian, but for the most part, mining is still obsolete over here in the Land of the Morning Light. Let me know if you guys have found an area. I'm still out here looking, but so far, the only area that I've been able to find is over here next to the Black Shrine Blue Clad Youth. For those who were looking to gather platinum and not all those rocks over in Pilgrim's Haven, coming down below the Doom Ridges, has a cave that has a lot of platinum. There should be at least 6 to 9 platinum nodes that you can cycle through and channel change. The Bioli Forest right next to Yukjo Street here has another cave full of platinum. There's not a lot of platinum here, but there should be enough for you to do a small little rotation. Over in the Geogigui Cave, we have opal that can be gathered. It's not a lot, but with channel changing, there should be enough to at least come in second place to the original opal mining gathering rotation that we originally had. Running all the way over here past the Dang Forest to the Samson Tree has a pass that has more platinum that can be gathered. This will be all along the side of the road, so make sure you stop, check around, see if you got all your platinum. And if you were wondering, no, there are no underwater gathering nodes, so be sure not to jump into the water if you don't have any type of swimming costume. Over here in the Flower Sunken Swamp has a great selection of roses if you guys are looking for them. Not sure if you'd choose this or the Northern Wheat Plantation, but this is an option for you guys. There is another downside when it comes to the gatherables here in the Land of the Morning Light. A lot to most of our gatherables are not allowed to be interacted with. As you can see, they look like they can be gathered, but we just run right through it, meaning that the gatherable nodes is not activated on that one. We are given a lot of the radish, a lot of the cabbage, and a lot of the rice, just like in the Butte County, but with the price of the dishes not exactly being worth the time, this whole other gatherable area just is a little lackluster in my opinion. For those looking for goosefoot and wanted to try to make some more money, Tahek over here has a massive amount of goosefoot. So you guys can try to make a little bit of money while coming out here. There's a nice amount, meaning you can do a lot switching channels and going out and doing another rotation. The area is relatively small, but it does pack a lot of goosefoot. We might have a little banger over here. You guys will have to be the judge of it. Let me know how you guys feel about it. Over here in the Halban area, next to the world boss Bulgasel, I'm pretty sure I pronounced that wrong, but we have a ton of perilla. Though they do have textured hot pepper in here, we cannot gather any hot pepper. We do have citron, corn, sweet potatoes, and I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be either onions or something. And lastly, I think we should be able to gather carrots. Can anyone let me know if this is supposed to be included with the palace management or if they just forgot to code in the actual gatherable nodes? Those looking for truffle can come down here to Mong Rang's Exile. Down here has some truffle mushroom that can be found in both the Exile Point and leading further down towards the river. Be sure to check the waterfront to make sure you haven't missed any truffle. There's not a lot here, but there should be enough to at least gather some. Still looking for truffle? All along the Doom Ridges path has a bunch of truffle that can be gathered. It's not going to be a lot, but there should be enough to channel change. While you are out there gathering and exploring around the new region, you will have a chance of stumbling upon a new chest. These will give you a random item when completing, and give you a little bit of lore while you're also completing their little mini game. These give cool little rewards and might be worth your time going out and looking for. And unfortunately, there are no strange and beautiful herbs here in the new region. Not sure why they didn't add it. They missed a huge point, and I think it would have been fun looking for it. Just as stated, there's a lot of gatherable objects that are not gatherable. They don't have any hitboxes, and it doesn't even look like their textures are even in game. So if you guys can let me know what these even are, or why we have a lot of the items in the game that aren't even gatherable, that'd be really helpful. I'm not sure why they really considered doing this to us, but it's a little unfortunate. But at least we can find truffle randomly laying around on the sides of the roads near mountains and things. Now, unfortunately, much like the first half of the Land of the Morning Light, the fish that can be caught out here are not really worth the money, and I'm not exactly sure if there's a chance of trying to fish up any of the forest crystals. From what I fished out here, it's looking really bad. There's not really much else for us Lifeskillers to do, with the main story only providing the gateway to the new 5-man, and the world bosses only lasting within 30 seconds or less, depending on which one you go to, what time. There's not really much. We're gonna have to wait for later on this year or maybe next year for anything lifeskilling related to be introduced with this new region. I kind of feel a little bummed out. I'm gonna mainly stick to the mainland if I choose to continue playing, but as a Lifeskiller, this expansion was pretty dull. Let me know how you guys feel down in the comments below if you guys have been enjoying this new region, if you guys are a Lifeskiller and you found something that you really enjoyed doing here in the game. I just don't know why we got an early access edition of Land of the Morning Light Part 2, especially when we've had so long to wait. I'm still going to be trying to find something to do here in the region, seeing if there's anything else that I just seem to be overlooking, but I don't know. I'm just a little on the fence about this. But with all of that out of the way, I hope this helps you guys find something to do in the new Seoul region for Black Desert, and I will see you guys in the next one. Keep gathering out there, everyone.